Hey guys, Victoria Rader here with our Quantum Freedom Family, a program of transformation from you to shine. Whether you are watching this as already a subscribed member of our family online, or if you're only exploring this program, this video is meant to be a clear guidance and map and a way to answer all, if not all, then maybe most of your questions about the program. In the description of this video, you will see that there is timed minutes in terms of the questions and the answers. So if you don't need to listen to the whole video, as much as I like the sound of my own voice, you might be looking for a certain answer. And so as you are going to look at the description, look at the possible question you have, and then it'll tell you which minute of the video addresses that question. All right, so first of all, the question that we get asked a lot, what is quantum freedom and what is quantum freedom sequence? First, quantum freedom. I'm going to look at the two words and quote two most powerful quotes in my life that have helped me identify the direction of this incredible journey. The first one is quantum. Okay, Einstein said everything is energy and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy, this is physics. And to make it more clear, he's talking about quantum physics. So what is quantum? It's the smallest possible unit of energy or matter. Okay. And then the quantum jump, or referred to as quantum leap also, is when there's an abrupt transition from one discrete energy to another. Okay, let's break it down. On the energetic level, everything indeed is energy. Right? Everything vibrates. Everything has a frequency. Even matter as we know it is a slowed down energy. So Einstein talks about matching the frequency of the reality you want. He doesn't tell us how. Quantum freedom tells you how to match the frequency of the reality that you want and how to create that reality through abrupt and sudden discrete energy changes that cause amazing real results. So we will be working with energy. Second, freedom. My favorite definition about freedom comes from Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl wrote, quote, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space lies our growth and our freedom," end of quote. And this quote is so impactful that it is on the landing page for quantum freedom. So freedom really is our ability to respond to life in a way that we choose to respond to it. So the two are very related. In a nutshell, quantum freedom is a path to obtain your highest expression of freedom, ability to respond to reality in a way that constantly creates a better reality. So something happens in your life. Somebody's pushing your buttons. How you respond to your buttons being pushed tells you how free you are. Because if somebody else dictates how you respond emotionally, financially, mentally, or physically, you're really not free. You're reacting to the reality around you. So the quantum freedom group is created to identify those triggers, those push buttons, those programs that are currently keeping you running around in circles so you can have a quantum leap, quantum jump into a new freedom of reality and create what it is that you want. So by working with energy and practical laws, combining the universal laws of energy in their most pragmatic, practical way, quantum freedom is a way for your emotional, financial, mental, physical freedom to empower you to really create the present and the future of your choice. So if you think, to wrap it up, if you think of the electron, the little electron, which is, that quantum measure, rotates around the proton in circles. It rotates, it rotates, it rotates, it rotates, it rotates. And then something happens and it jumps to a different trajectory of rotation. So its reality is very different. That's where that quantum leap comes from. Now, how do we do it? How does it work? One of the programs that are part of quantum freedom is a methodology that I've developed that's called quantum freedom sequence. And it is a sequence that opens your energy possibility centers in a very impactful way. So there is quantum freedom subscription, and within it is a way to open your possibility centers to get you unstuck, unblocked, and really free to live the life you were born to live. I'm very passionate about that. It covers, quantum freedom sequence covers the seven, they're referred to as chakras, energy centers, but really it is much, much more than that. Now, what is Quantum Freedom Family? Quantum Freedom Family is the family of subscribers that meet together for live programs and to watch those in recording. And the medium that we're currently using for that is the Facebook. So the Facebook group is where the Quantum Freedom Family gets together and where we do our programs. Now, next question. Who can benefit from being a member of Quantum Freedom Family? In a nutshell, it is somebody who desires to live a better life. There are 4 steps of progressing through any area of your life, right? And those 4 steps are survival, stability, success, and significance. The first step is to identify where you are in different areas in your life. Maybe you're in survival in your health and stability in your finances. Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe you're in stability in your health and in survival in your finances. So first, you look at different areas of your life, and only you can decide which part of the journey you're currently there. And then you set an intention for quantum freedom to free you to go to the next level and to the next level and to the next level. And once you go from survival to stability and to success, which is feeling fulfilled yourself, you go into the area of significance where you impact others. That is the benefit. So if you feel that maybe you are struggling with anxiety or overwhelm, you want the basic freedom of peace. You're seeking peace. So then that would be being in survival in your emotion, right? Now, why and how can we do these changes? How can we implement these changes that are helping you? We're looking at different ways to trigger and implement these changes. And we use the word modalities for the type of work that we use or kinds of changes. So there are several that I want to cover that we use in quantum freedom. The first one is EFT, which is emotional freedom technique, also known as tapping. So emotional freedom technique allows for you to free trapped emotion. You have some trapped emotion somewhere in your body that is dictating your life, from trauma that has happened to you or even that has happened to one of your ancestors and is now carried in your energy, right? All of a sudden you have this panicky feeling. You don't know where the feeling is coming from. You don't know how to deal with it. Emotional freedom technique helps you to relieve those triggers, those trapping emotions, right? They are not only trapped in your body, but they're trapping you. They're preventing you from having that free response that you're seeking in order to create a life that you want. Another technique is called NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. And the part of NLP that I use for quantum freedom is creating very powerful visualizations and transformative meditations. so that we train our brain. Is very interesting. It doesn't know the difference between what's really happening and what we're visualizing in terms of programming us. They've done a lot of studies with different groups of people. And most fascinating for me is the one where they have the athletes and they will wire the athlete's brain and they tell them to visualize their workout. So the athlete is not working out, but they're with their eyes closed, visualizing the workout. And then they have the same measuring devices on the muscles that would be firing during the actual physical workout. And it is observed that when a person is only visualizing those, their muscles are actually firing as well. So I personally have developed a lot of visualizations for our quantum freedom group in order to recreate this reality for our mind so it can recognize it as the actual reality and start implementing it. Very subtle energy modality that we use is called quantum touch, and that is simply sending the energy of warmth and of comfort to those that are a part of the group. In terms of the background that I've had in a lot of business coaching and in consulting for both businesses and relational consulting and personality consulting, such as DISC personality assessments and so forth, we use a lot of those practical techniques and tips so that when there is an emotional or thought change, and we're going to talk about how those are created, when there is a shift in a program, that as that shift in the program happens, there's practical steps to implement that shift. Finally, the very important part to quantum freedom is theta healing. Theta healing was developed by Vianna Stibel, and in theta healing we put the brain into a theta brainwave. It goes into a theta brainwave in order to change the damaging programs. And I'm going to demonstrate that for you. Okay, so now going to the next question, let's look at that. What is a belief and what does it mean we carry a belief and how is it replaced? Or as I say, it's BS we carry, BS being belief systems, right? BS we carry, the belief systems we carry can be very limiting, can be very harmful. And if we have that as our programming, we form the reality around us in the same way. How does it work? Every thought we have is energy. Okay, it's electric impulse. Every time you have a thought, there's an electric impulse that happens in your brain. The more times you have the same thought, the deeper the pathway for that thought. Very simple example. If you walk into the woods, you're the first person to go through. It's pretty thick. You can't make it through very easily. If there are 10 people that have gone before you, there's a little bit of a clearing. If there's 1,000 people that have gone before you, that's a significant clearing. And I would say that if 1,000,000 people has gone in front of you, you have a pretty decent road through the woods. Well, our brain, with its neural connections, is a lot like the woods. What is not used does not have a clear pathway. So if you have a recurring thought of I'm a loser, I'm a loser, I'm a loser, I'm a loser, then that becomes a very deep pattern in your brain. And then you assess everything in your life through that pattern. What would a loser do? And that dictates how you feel about yourself. And we're going to go into that. The feelings are the magnetic field. So every time there's an electrical current, there's a magnetic field. So your thoughts are electric, your emotions are magnetic. So what would be a feeling of somebody who constantly thinks I'm a loser? A feeling of sadness, of apathy, of guilt, of depression, of shame, ashamed to be who they are. Right? You've gone through that, and you know somebody who has. So those thoughts of being a loser create emotion of being a loser. And going back to emotional freedom technique, you could have inherited those emotions, and those emotions then create the thoughts, right? They're interchangeable. And as you think about it, a person who thinks I'm a loser, what will their behavior be like? That of a loser. So they come to an interview, they expect to fail, they expect they're going to be a loser. So they interview poorly and then follows the poor results. So the programs are these electromagnetic fields within us that are created through the delicate exchange of thoughts and emotions. And these programs cause us to have certain behaviors. And these certain behaviors lead us to certain results. And as we see the results, we then say, yep, I knew I was a loser. What if you change that program from I'm a loser to I'm confident? And your thought pattern was I'm confident and I'm capable. I'm confident and I'm capable. I'm confident and I'm capable. How does your body feel? What is the emotion when you feel confident and capable? Do you feel confident, right? Then you have those and you go to the same interview. The answers that were blocked from a mindset of a loser, quote unquote, are now open to you as a mindset of somebody who's confident. And then you nail the job. And then you say, yeah, I knew it. I knew it all along. I'm confident and capable. So of course I deserve the job. So how do we work with energy to make those shifts? This is where the unique theta healing technique comes aligned with all the other techniques we talked about. Here's an energy stick. You can get it on Amazon. I think it's like 12, 13 bucks. And because I talked about the thoughts being electric, we have electricity running through us, right? So if I hold it with one hand, nothing happens. Nothing happens because the circuit is not closed. It goes through me, through me as the energy source and out. It's not closed. The second I close the circuit anywhere on this metal lining, the second I close the circuit, the energy from my body is sufficient to cause the sound and there's also a light element to the tube. The amazing thing about, I use this with my clients all the time, the amazing thing about this little tool is that if you have 100 people in a circle and they all hold hands, and somebody in the circle holds the tube with everybody else simply holding hands, if anybody in the circle lets go, the little device stops making sound. Why? Because the circuit of transfer of energy is broken. So how does it look in your body? If you put your two fingers like this together and you lock them real nice, real hard. Lock them so as you pull them, they're kind of catching. So you know how hard the pull is for you to catch, okay? And so close your eyes, and as you pull, say yes, and pull. And you'll see that it's catching it. And now closing your eyes, say no. And as you jerk your hands, you'll see that the circuit will be open. Why? Because the program yes keeps the circuit running. The program no opens up the circuit. Now let's try it with your name. Okay, say your name. Say, my name is, say it, and pull gently. Just pull it. Do you see how it's catching on your name? Because the circuit of your name is running through your brain. Now, my name is Vika. So how about you guys say, my name is Vika. Put the fingers together and say, my name is Vika. And now move them, right? For me, it's going to catch. For you, it's going to open up. And as the more you do that, the more you understand how we can muscle test. This technique is called muscle testing for the programs that are circulating in our body. So we're going to shift that energy, that electrical current. What the download of belief is and changes, we break the current of I'm a loser, and we create a new current of I'm confident. So if you pull and you say I am a loser, and if it's a yes, right, we're going to cancel, clear, resolve it and open it for you, and then create a new current of I'm confident. I'm actually going to do that first, and then the example that I had here. So if you just want a muscle test, for those of you that have it, just kind of put it together and say, I'm a loser, and pull, see whether it's catching or opening with your eyes closed. If it's catching, then please give me permission to change it to I'm capable. So with your permission, I'm going to close your eyes and I'll explain as to why. We're going to make a change from I'm a loser to I'm confident and capable. Beautiful. And now pull it together. Say I'm a loser. See how it opens up. And now say I'm capable. And notice how it's catching now. Okay, just the beginning of that. The one program I wanted to do for you to get you the value is the program that is not formed on a what's called core level, because we can all think thoughts, I'm a loser, right? But there are deeper programs of our subconscious mind. Our conscious mind is the one that thinks thoughts for us that we're talking about it, and it's responsible for about 7% of our mental and emotional activity and behavior. Our subconscious mind is responsible for 93% of our behavior. And those are genetic programs that we've inherited, and the programs around us, people that say things, which is why it's so important to choose what you watch, right, on TV and so forth. So, one program that is what I call a common consciousness program is life is hard and then you die. Have you guys heard that? Life is hard and then you die. So, close your eyes and see whether you can muscle test for that. Life is hard and then you die. Is it catching for you on any level? Yes. So if it's catching, it's not a good belief to have, because the belief we have creates the energy through us that sends the frequency. And that's the frequency that we match as per Einstein. So we don't want to be matching the frequency, life is hard and then you die. It very well may be hard. And we all know that, yes, death is an outcome. But we don't need to be carrying this belief through our reality daily. I had an amazing session with one of my clients, and she said, "You know, Vika, you're a possibility coach, but for me, you're also an opportunity coach." And we're working on programs of shifting how that client perceives life. And the gift program that was given there was life is an opportunity. So if you would like for me to shift for you the belief life is hard and then you die, to life is an opportunity, please close your eyes. Unless you're driving, don't close your eyes, and allow for me to change that. So we're going to cancel, resolve, close all subconscious contracts of the program life is hard and then you die, and then replace it with life is an opportunity. If you would like that, please say or think yes. Beautiful. And you can kind of muscle test now and say life is an opportunity, and you'll see that it's there, right? And now I would challenge you to write this down and then see how all of a sudden a new opportunity is going to pop into your life today, simply because you've gotten a new belief life is an opportunity. So these opportunities, not that they weren't there before, it's just that before you were not on a frequency of those opportunities. So that was a very simple example of changing the beliefs. And the change of beliefs can be is referred to as a download of a new belief, because we're shifting that energy. As my brain goes into theta brainwave, it aligns with your brain and it offers it a change. If you say yes, you are instantaneously changing that programming and you're receiving it. Okay, so that's our next question. What is the download? How does it work? And are downloads and hypnosis the same? I like to use the word also activation. So activation or download is how we change these. How do they work? Because when two or more brains vibrate in theta brainwave, the new program is offered as an energy frequency, as an electric signal to the brain, and as a magnetic field, as an emotion. When you say consciously yes, you allow for your brain to absorb this new program and start working with it. The hypnosis, very much like theta healing shift, is done in a theta brainwave. But the reason I now prefer theta healing to hypnosis is that you are fully awake and aware about the programs that are being changed. And you use your free agency to say yes or no to those changes. So freedom is very important to me, as you can tell. And when you are allowing for those program changes, you are doing so within the use of your own free agency. I think that's probably the most important difference. Now, next question, why am I closing my eyes? And do we all need to close our eyes? The reason I close my eyes is because it helps my brain to slow down to theta brainwave. You can actually see I go deeper in it, that because the brain slows down, that my eyelids will vibrate. While you do not have to close your eyes, I highly recommend that you do for those changes because it simply eliminates the distractions, right? It eliminates distractions from me at a time of sending that signal, that energy shift, and it eliminates them for you. Obviously, do not close your eyes if it is not safe for you to close your eyes. Use your common sense, which goes to the next question. Is this a safe practice? And I always say that nobody can ever guarantee complete safety because it is limited to common sense of a person who is doing it. Part of our program is meditations. So during meditation, I'm asking you to close your eyes. So you should not be driving a car and doing a program. That would not be safe. So as long as you use your common sense of allowing for these powerful sessions to happen at a comfort of your home or your office where you are physically safe, right? Where you are physically safe. Then, of course, any modalities that we use are completely safe for you. Okay, so it's very important to realize that common sense is important. Okay, and another thing is realize that this is why free agency is so important. I will always ask, would you like to have a change? Would you like to have this shift? So if there is a part of you that says, I'm not ready to make this shift, it probably means that it's not that it's unsafe for you, but that you fear it's unsafe for you. Some people fear it's unsafe for them to be successful. Some people fear love because they feel it's unsafe. Why? Because they've been hurt by people who told them that they love them. So there will be some programs that you might not be able to receive fully because there's a little bit more work that needs to be done prior to you making those changes. Here's another question. How soon can I notice the changes? Some changes you will notice immediately, such as more peace, more relaxed energy, more calmness, more presence. Other changes will depend on where you are in your journey. I have witnessed incredible, instantaneous healings and shifts. The reason I say it depends is because for people for whom it has happened, they have done a lot of preparatory work. And I got to witness the grand finale. So it looked like it was an instantaneous shift. So while the energy shifts are going to be instantaneous, you then will, through practical practices of those shifts, will make them permanent. Some healings that happen over several sessions because the damage has been created over several years. Most important thing to realize that this is a journey. Quantum freedom is not a destination. It is a continued journey of going from one level of awareness to the next, and finally living from a place of significance and expanding your talents at that level. So with that, I want to talk about the structure of the actual quantum freedom program. It consists of a lot of videos. All videos at this point go live on Facebook Lives for Quantum Freedom family that are subscribed. The preview of those lives is announced on You to Shine Quantum Freedom page and in one of the guides in the group itself. So if you are a part of the group already, I hope this is that timing of the clip that you are tuning into, because the programs that are available and that are being recorded are organized into what Facebook used to call units and now calls guides. So in the older videos, you will hear me use the word unit. Unit and guide are the same thing. When you first log in into your Facebook Quantum Freedom portal, click on the button that says guides. When you click on guides, you will see a breakdown of different guides by name. Currently, there is group healing guide, I'm in business now what guide, manifesting series guides. There are 3 different ones that I'll cover, and spiritual genes coding guides that I'll cover, and 2 more guides, Course in Miracles and the Science of Getting Rich. So those are the guides. I will next cover each guide in order that I've mentioned them. But once you found the guide that you want, if you're new, you kind of decide where you want to start. You choose the guide you want, and I'll give you more description here so you can actually decide where you want to start. You will scroll down all the way to the bottom. So you can start going from the bottom up through all of the videos and other supplemental products that we have there for you. The beautiful thing about that particular guide program is that there is a done button. So if you watch the video, you can click on done and know that you have seen this particular video for this particular guide, and then you can continue. So the first guide I want to talk about is called group healing. Group healing happens once a month, and it is a participant, at least at this point, it's once a month, and it's a participant driven live. So as I mentioned, all of these programs first go live on Facebook, and you're always encouraged to make as many lives as you can in person, but then they're available to you in recording indefinitely for as long as you're a member of the Quantum Freedom. So in group healing, people come with seeking actual shifts, either in their physical health, in their relationship, in their finances, and so forth. And they are posting what it is that they're seeking the shift, the healing with, and then we, using all of those different modalities, witness these powerful shifts. That's a group healing. The second guide is called I'm in Business Now What? Very much like, it's not second in order, by the way. I am giving them in the order that I'm choosing for the video. They have different numbers as Facebook numbered them. Okay, so I'll just say another guide is called I'm in Business Now What? The reason I've grouped these two together is because they're very similar. They're participant driven guides. So this is for people that have their own business, that are considering to have a business. And this is where we use practical business tips with a lot of subconscious reprogramming for success. So if your business is stuck, or it's doing great and you're looking to expand it to the next level, we would be scanning your energy, because everything is energy. Remember, we'd be looking at what frequency you're currently at and shifting you through changing your programs to new frequency. Those two are participant driven programs. All the other guides are prepared ahead of time. I prepare them ahead of time, but they're not participant driven, but the participation is very important because the participation shapes so much of those live programs. And those of you that have been with me for over a year, so grateful for you being a part of this journey, and you know what I'm talking about. You have created these programs for those that are coming after you, and I'm very grateful for that. So we have manifesting series. Manifesting series come as 3 different guides at this point, because 2 guides already have been recorded and are fully completed guides, and 1 is being recorded now. So once a month around new moon, and the reason I coincide these around new moon, because it's the energy of birth, and it's an energy of manifesting and creation of new reality. We go live with these different series. Currently, you have chakra manifesting, which is the first original quantum flow sequence that I talked about, of opening your energy centers in a certain way to allow for the energy to flow through you so you can manifest and create your reality and heal and expand in the best and highest way. And there are 8 of those videos. After those videos, we've recorded once a month, but now they're fully complete. Is another guide that is called Manifesting My Radiant Body. And that is also, I believe, an 7 or 8 part guide that focuses on wholeness of your body, on the health, on the weight management. And realize that as you go through those videos, your subconscious will then marinate on those changes and will start prompting you to behavioral changes. So for a lot of people, the series have gone through, and then 2 or 3 months later, they're like, well, I have all these ideas. I'm eating healthier. I'm exercising. So because spiritual is created first and it's followed by physical, because energy is so much faster than matter, the spiritual changes are instantaneous. As we implement them, they become physical and very practical. And currently, at the time of the recording of this program, we are recording Money Mastery Manifesting. And this is where we're covering 35 laws of money. So during the New Moon Manifesting series, we're currently learning the spiritual laws and practical application of money. The next guide that we have is called Spiritual Genes Coding. The Spiritual Genes Coding balances the Manifesting series as it is recorded and goes live around the full moon. Why full moon? Because full moon emotionally dance, the water comes in the ocean, right? It pulls the waters up, so things come to the surface inside us. We are more than 75% water. So emotionally, things come to the surface quite a bit during full moon, and this is the time when we activate different genetic keys for 64 spiritual virtues. We clear the shadow side of a gene. We look at where a person is stuck. We develop the gift side of that gene to know how to function in daily life, having been healed and released the shadow. And finally, we activate the high frequency of what's called siddhi, or enlightened activated gene. Just like your physical body has genetics, your spirit body has genetics. There are much higher frequency genetics. We're aligning the two for the most optimal performance in all of the areas of your life. It's a very advanced, as you can tell, these different programs are also structured within quantum freedom to a different level of where you might be at this time, spiritually and in other ways, which is why it's so important for you to find where you belong first. And then once again, try to join us on lives. There are two more guides that have already been completed. The first one is called Course in Miracles, and Course in Miracles is 52 videos, 52 weekly videos with 365 daily activations, downloads, or suggested changes that come between those videos of living a life of miracles. It is based on the actual Course in Miracles with adaptation from the Spirit as channeled for this program. It's a very unique program, very powerful program. As a matter of fact, if you don't know where to start with the Course of Miracles, because it's a year-long journey that will open you to a life of miracles. Finally, last but not least, guide that we have recorded is called The Science of Getting Rich. Based on Wallace D. Wattles' book, once again, just like Course in Miracles, that is a classic, The Science of Getting Rich takes you through spiritual and practical laws of being abundant in all areas of your life. It's a very powerful course. It is currently fully recorded and completed as well, and it is much shorter than Course in Miracles. I think it's about, trying to remember, 12 maybe episodes or somewhere there. As you can tell, I'm recording a lot of episodes, so I don't necessarily remember all of the numbers. So these are all the guides in the program. Now you know, whether you're new or you're considering to join our family, you kind of have a full structure of that. And the final, not a question, but a sentiment, a story. It's a story that I start my All About the Voice podcast. And it's a story that started me on this journey. And it's a story that I want to share with you as to why quantum freedom. And the story starts in 1400s, in AD in Italy, where a sculptor named Donatello is commissioned to carve a sculpture. So as he's commissioned to carve a sculpture, he is given a huge slab of marble for the sculpture. He studies that marble for a long time and finds it unstable, with a lot of veins, and thus unworthy to be used for carving the sculpture, so he dismisses the slab of marble. 50 years later, another great sculptor and artist who I'm sure you have heard of, Michelangelo, comes across this marble. And out of this faulty slab of marble, he carves what is arguably one of the most impactful sculptures of our time, David. David still stands in Florence. He's 600 years later, 500 years later. So when Michelangelo's contemporaries ask him, how could you possibly carve such a beautiful sculpture from this faulty marble? His answer is the answer that gets me emotional and reminds me why I do everything I do every single time. Michelangelo answers, I saw the angel in the marble, and I carved until I set him free. This is the purpose for quantum freedom. The purpose for quantum freedom is for you to free that powerful divine being that you are, that is covered by marble of limiting beliefs, patterns, and behaviors, so that indeed you can be free as well. And this is it. So welcome, welcome, welcome to Quantum Freedom.